Shalom, Makim. I want to start out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. The bonus to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, who taught me this truth. Salutations to the hopeful elect, that's around the four corners of the earth, and also the brothers that teach the word in sincerity. This is the brother Iwalamia from GMS Chicago. Come back at you with another lesson. Just to break down Hebrews, the 11th chapter. Basically going into faith. Because faith, is a key thing in this truth. Serving Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. As the scriptures goes into, without faith, it is impossible to please him. So I'm going to start out with Hebrews 11:1. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Right. Everything that we read off in the Holy Scriptures, goes off of faith. Going into the miracles and different things like that, the chariots of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the prophecies, you must have faith, once, when we believe these things, because what, 9 times out of 10, we know that chariots exist based off the scriptures, but what, we have to have faith, that it be true, even though that brothers, myself included, have seen chariots, but what, it's a faith thing, because 9 times out of 10, an average Joe, won't, how can I say it? An average Joe won't, look up and always see a chariot. But what? We know that they're real based off the Holy Scriptures. That's faith. Even though we don't see it sometimes, we know that it's real. Hebrews 11:2. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Yahweh, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. Right, you have to have faith for certain things. Even though you don't see it, it's real. Even though we don't see it, we know it's real. That's what faith is. Going back to Hebrews 11:1. Salakia. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. That's why we are the prisoners of hope. We believe in these things. Verse 4, by faith, Abel offered unto Yahweh a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, Yahweh testifying of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speaketh. Right, this is basically going into, the great men that basically, that ultimately have faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Because like I said before, without faith, it's impossible to please him. And it also talks about, I'm going to just jump into it. It says, verse 5, by faith Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found, because Yahweh had translated him for before his translation, he had this testimony that he pleased Yahweh. Verse 6, but without faith it is impossible to please him, for he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. For example, doing your lessons, diligently edifying the body. Like I said before, through these lessons, going on the highways and byways, teaching the people, that's basically a sign that you have faith, But we also, we show our work, by our faith, Salaki, we show our faith by our works, Like I said before, putting up lessons, edifying the sheep, going on the highways and byways, edifying our people. Verse 7, by faith, Noah being warned of Yahweh of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith. And let me jump into another precept real quick. Let me see. Bear with me for a second. Well, I think it's okay. I'm gonna read this. This is the book of James 2:26. For as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also. Right, what I just read. Noah had faith. Basically what, him building the ark. Basically, that he had faith that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai was ultimately going to flood the earth. That's why he prepared himself and built the ark. So faith without works is dead also. Right, if we don't show no work, No, if you have faith and show no work, that means ultimately you don't have no faith to begin with. You have to show. You have to. You have to show your works. Just to basically, let Yahweh Shai know that you have faith in him. You know. Verse 8, by faith Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for inheritance, obeyed, and he went out not knowing whither he went. Yeah, like I said before, Hebrews, the 11th chapter, is basically going into different accounts, of the men of the Lord having faith. Even though they didn't know, what was the end result, it was these men, these great men having faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and ultimately Yahweh Shem Yahushua coming through for them. Verse 9, by faith he sojourned in the land of promise as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. Verse 10, for he looked for a city which hath foundations, whose builder and maker is Yahweh. Through faith also Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed, and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithful who had promised. Now, with that being said, I'm going to jump into another precept. This is the book of John 20 and 29. Yahweh said unto him, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. Right, Thomas seeing Yahweh Shem Yahushua in the flesh. Blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed. Yahweh Shem Yahushua gives us signs, today, being in the latter end, of America, which is Babylon the Great. But what? We haven't seen Yahweh Shem Yahushua, in the flesh. But we believe that he's real, based off what? The prophecies, based off everything that's going on in this in the world today. We have not seen Yahweh Shem Yahushua in the flesh, but we know that he's real, because like I said before, through the prophecies, through different things that's going on around the world right now, Blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed, right? We believe. That's why we do the works that we do. We're putting up our lessons, going on the highways and byways, showing our faith by our works. Verse 12, therefore sprang there even of one, and him as good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky, and multitude as the sand which by the sea shore innumerable. Verse 13, these all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. Even the mighty men, and during the ancient times, they had faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, to what? To ultimately receive those promises, which is ultimately the kingdom of heaven, Verse 14, for they that such things declare plainly that they seek a country, and truly if they had been mindful of that country from whence they came out, they might have had an opportunity to have returned. Verse 16, but now they desire a better country, that is an heavenly, wherefore Yahweh is not ashamed to be called their power, for he has prepared for them a city. By faith, Abraham, when he was tried, offered up Isaac, and that he had received the promises, offer up his only begotten son. Right, this is a test by the Lord, from the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, to basically ultimately test, Abraham, his servant Abraham, Abraham ultimately had that faith because what? He was willing to sacrifice Isaac. Ultimately, this is a test by Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That just basically shows how much faith that Abraham had in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, And faith is a gift, that's given up, that is given, from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Verse 18, on whom it was said that it is that in Isaac shall thy seed be called, accounting that Yahweh was able to raise him up, even from the dead, from whence also he received him in a figure. By faith Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. By faith Jacob, when he was dying, blessed both the sons of Joseph and worshipped, leaning upon the top of his staff. Right, like I said before, Hebrews the 11th chapter mainly going into great men having that faith and talking about faith in general. So I'm gonna jump down a little bit. Let me see. Verse 29. By faith they passed through the Red Sea as by dry land, which the Egyptians assaying to do were drowned. By faith the walls of Jericho fell down after they were compassed about 7 days. Right, having faith is a power. Having faith in Yahweh Shem Shai, that is a great power. Given from a path. Having the power to believe, even though you haven't seen anything with your own eyes. That's a great power to have. The gift of faith. You know. Verse 33, who through faith subdued kingdoms, wrought righteousness, obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions. Verse 34, quenched the violence of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, out of weaknesses were made strong, waxed valiant, and fight turned to flight the armors of the aliens. Yeah. But with that being said, I'm gonna jump into like one more precept. Hebrews the 11th chapter. It's basically going through faith. Faith. By these different men having faith, ultimately, they conquer every obstacle in their path. In the days that's to come, faith is a key. It's key to have because what? Ultimately, with that strong faith, nothing is going to move you. And faith is very important. Without faith, like I said before, as the scripture goes into, without faith, it is impossible to please him. So with that being said, I'm going to close out with this one. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus 2:10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? To ultimately trust in the Lord, you have to have faith in the Lord, And ultimately, the generations of old, our forefathers, they ultimately had faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's why they were, protected in certain situations they were in. What I was reading in certain accounts back in the book of Hebrews, the 11th chapter, how, through faith, they moved kingdoms and different things like that, talking about what? Ultimately, having faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he's going to get you through it. And the Lord, and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? On whom did he ever despise, Salakia? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? Right? To ultimately call on Yahweh Shem Yahushua, ultimately, you have to have faith. Everything is about faith, and it's truth. Faith is a key element of this thing that we do. And ultimately, if you have faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he's gonna get you through it. So Lord, I hope this is edifying to the elect. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Them honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Salutations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the earth. And also the brothers that teach the word in sincerity. Lord, I hope this is edifying. And Lord, I want to come back with another lesson soon. Shalom.